Stalingrad. You understand me? And I had to use everything I had to fight her psychologically. She's a beautiful woman, loved the ground she walked on. But it was only because, right, it was only because I was a strong man that she felt the need to fight. And one time, one of her little cousins, 13 years old, said, you know what, you two would be all right, but y'all in competition with each other. So, is it strength or is it competition? Come on, pick it up, somebody.
I think it's competition.
So,
you know,
why should we have competition?
You should have competition because you should know who you are, and he should know who he is. And once the two come together, you know what I'm saying, you complement each other.
Sure.
But I don't think it should be competitive. You know, I was in a relationship where I felt that it was a competitive type relationship, and I didn't want it to be competitive, but I was just a strong black woman. I was brought up a strong black woman.
But
and
do that
I
hurt
too
you
am
at all,
looking
though?
for a strong black woman.
But let me ask you this right here.
Or anyone who's strong.
But let me say this right here. But do that affect the loving that you can give?
Of course it could.
Because the idea of that you're looking for a strong man, right? Because you're a strong woman. But do that take the flower from you, though? Do that you know?
I don't believe so if the man stands up and he becomes what he should be in a household. Then there's respect. We'll go to the word respect. When a woman respects her husband or her person that she's with, who's the head of the household, regardless what color he is, the important thing is respect for each other.
Yes.
Now, a lot of times, because the black man didn't feel superior to the black woman, he would put up a fight, okay, like you did.
Yes.
And
but it wasn't because I didn't feel that I felt inferior.
No.
I put up a fight because it was the fight of my life. Because
it was what you were used to too as a child, growing up with your mom.
What it was it was that I was brought up to be a provider, to be a nurturer, to take care of family. That's how I was brought up. All right. But the idea is that when I met this individual, she felt because I possessed those characters of independent, working, visionary, can teach myself anything, she felt the need to fight me.
And maybe she didn't have that in her household.
She did not have that in her household.
Why.
So the idea, it became a clash. My love was, let's say 95%. Her love was maybe 5. But we were moving along and we could have been a great couple together. But the problem was she felt the need to fight when there was no need.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Right.
So the idea was that coming home to an individual like that is not comfortable.
Well, it's not knowing one another well enough.
Right. And the fight, you shouldn't be fighting one another. You should be complimenting one another. Why would I want to be in a relationship with someone that I have to compete against?
Exactly.
When I'm at work,
yes.
When I'm on the streets taking care of business,
right.
I'm competing to
yes.
get things
right.
done.
Sure.
So when I come home and I'm with someone who I love and I care about,
without a doubt,
that should not be
right.
the time where we're fighting
yes.
one another, but we should be building and encouraging one another up.
But what happens a great deal of the time is, in a situation like that, as the sister said here, Elder said here, is that if you are this strong woman, do you know how to chain that reaction?
Right. You
right.
have to.
You
have to, because a lot of times when women have been single and raising their families by themselves, a lot of times they are hard. They're working, they're carrying the load, they're taking on responsibility
yes.
that normally it would be shared by a mate
yes.
or their partner, their
yes.
hopefully, hopefully.
Yes.
And so therefore now they have to make decisions,
sure.
they have to handle everything, so sure. they do become hard. But I'm going to tell you, most women want a man that's strong because she's willing to sit back and let him take the lead. Most women want the man to take the lead.
Well, what I'm getting from most people, and I'll say this right here, and this right here is true here, I believe that, all right, I know you guys say that, but I think that when you are tough, and I'm tough,
right.
You understand me? We're boxing. You understand? Like Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali back in the day, you understand? So the idea is that it becomes what you call a Phil in Manila. You understand me? A 15-round bout that we don't know who won, then won somebody surrender. Will it be, can we come together and understand understand each other's greatness or whatever. You see what I mean? Because if you're strong and I'm strong, right, and you're not going to give, then, you know, it is what it is.
Well, I was created as the weaker vessel according to the Word of God.
That's the Word of God. But we're talking about the word of psychology now.
And the word of psychology is this for me. It's going to be different for every woman.
Sure.
And so I can't speak for every woman. I can only speak for myself.
Sure.
I am willing to give up my rights as a strong black woman and be leading and being rough and tough because I was made to be soft.
Yes.
That's my nature.
Because it takes, I think that it takes a lot. It takes a lot from the woman, whether she be black, white, or whatever. If she has to be tough, you understand me? It takes a whole lot from her. So what I wanted to know from my white sister here is that what happened? Did it end because of that, or did it? Is it still
basically going? Yes?
Because he wanted you to be more submissive for him.
Yes, and I felt that he wasn't standing up for what he was supposed to be bringing into the relationship.
Sure.
He should be bringing in more.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of times that black men like white women because they are submissive.
Sure.
Because they're used to the white father.
Right.
And the mother's listening.
Mm-hmm.
Now there are other white households where the wife is dominating over the husband, and it depends on what it is. Sure. But a lot of black men don't know that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think too. Here's what you hear a lot. I think that there's a dirty underskirt with the black man and the black woman seeking outside of the race. What I mean by that is this here. Most of the people I know that have married outside of their race, it was because they thought financially that you were endowed with how he used money. Correct. And when I try to tell them, I said, well, now, wait a minute now.
And
that's not always true. And a good 85% or 95% is not going to be true. Right. Rich people normally marry rich people. I mean, you understand what I mean? That's just the name of the game. Yes. Don't think that, the Kennedy great-great-grand is going to come and marry my great-great-granddaughter, Bertha or whatever the case may be, because she flipped over the thing, you understand? It's not really going to happen. And I think that right there is a part that's a great problem that we have.
But today, you have a lot of strong black women educated who are making a lot of money, and yet the black man still is looking for that white woman because she's submissive.
Yes.
So sometimes it does have to do with finances, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it is true. As I say this year, I've been in the dating game for years, and I've had women, literally stand up. In front of your face, you stand like a boy here, you understand?
Yes.
The way you look, in fact, I had a neighbor, 2 years ago that showed some behavior like that right there. The way I told her boyfriend, I said, you can't put that on this side, you have to move it on the other side. This is your side of the yard, this is mine. And the way that woman come rushing out at me, she came at me like a bulldozer. And I'm going to tell you something, I used to box. I got that, remember the 35 millimeter that when you would look at it and you get that little target? I mean, I had got it, man. That target said, bang! And I looked at that woman, I said, whoa! I said, let me give you a hug. And that hug is for me. Because I had to remind myself that this was a woman. The way she charged at me, man, like a bulldog. You understand me? So a lot of times, women do put up that front and everything. Yes. So you got to know when to, when to do it.
And especially black women, because of years ago, they didn't necessarily have husbands.
Yes,
or the fathers would leave their children and leave it to the
mama.
woman.
Yeah.
So she had to learn to raise her children, protect them, give the finances,
take
care of them.
But because of psychology and because of education, then we have to be reformed into how maybe there needs to be some classes going on with our sisters and women that was raised like that can take it to learn how
And I
to
think that's where
relax and
President
everything.
Obama and his wife are leading the people now to see what you can become and what a wonderful
Yes.
first family we have.
Yes, yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt, without a doubt, without a doubt.
Who are loving
Yes.
people, who are trying the best that they can. I hear a lot of things out there about President Obama from white people,
Yeah.
and it just astonishes me that they come up with so many things that he's the Antichrist,
Yeah, well, without a doubt.
and he's this and he's that.
Well,
and not.
but